Welcome back. Today we are stripping away some of the marketing fluff and looking at a piece of hardware that solves a very specific and honestly a very annoying headache in modern AV.
Yeah, a little headache.
We're talking about the Kramer CLS-AOCU-CH-66.
It's not exactly a name that rolls off the tongue, is it?
Not at all.
But if you've ever tried to connect, say, a USB-C laptop to an HDMI display across a big room, that model number starts to sound pretty good.
It really does. I mean, we're looking at a 66-foot run here. That's about 20 meters.
And anyone who's tried that knows. Standard copper cable just gives up.
Oh, hits a wall. Physics just takes over. Attenuation sets in. And your beautiful 4K signal becomes, well, digital snow or nothing at all.
Exactly. And that's the core problem this solves. This is an active optical cable. And AOC Kramer is basically saying, look, for this length, for this amount of data, copper's not the answer anymore.
So they've switched to a hybrid design.
Hybrid, yeah. That's the key part, because you don't just need data, you also need power. So this cable uses 4 tiny glass fibers, polymer, insulated for the actual video signal, but it keeps copper running alongside them just for power and control signals.
Which is really smart engineering when you think about it.
It is. It means you don't need those clunky external power injectors you sometimes see at the display end.
So you get the insane bandwidth of glass zero signal loss over 66 feet.
Zero attenuation.
But it still behaves like a normal plug-and-play cable.
Precisely. And we should probably talk about that bandwidth. The spec sheet says 18 gigabits per second.
Which, in the real world, translates to 4K at 60 hertz, solid.
And with 4.4.4 color space.
Okay, now that's the spec that really matters for anyone doing, serious visual work.
It is. A lot of these other long-run solutions, they cheat. They crush the color down to 4.2.0 just to save bandwidth. This keeps the signal completely uncompressed.
And it handles HDR, all the high-end audio formats. Dolby True HD, DTS HD master audio.
Basically, yeah. If your source can output it, this cable will deliver to the other end untouched.
It's such a shift from the old days of using like balloons and extenders and all these extra boxes.
All their points of failure. This is a one-cable solution, and it even handles the really tricky stuff like ADID and HDCP 2.2 without you having to think about it.
Speaking of the physical side of it, the thing that surprised me was the footprint, the actual cable.
Oh, for sure.
Usually a shielded copper cable rated for this distance is thick. It's heavy. It is a nightmare to pull through a wall or a ceiling.
Right, because all that heavy shielding is trying to block electrical interference. But since the important data lanes here are light, they're just immune to EMI and RFI.
Actually, you don't need all that shielding.
You don't. And the result is a cable that's just 4.7 millimeters in diameter.
That is it's absurdly thin for a 66-foot run.
And it has a 20 millimeter bend radius. For installers working in, tight drop ceilings or crowded equipment racks, that kind of flexibility is a total game changer.
Plus, you mentioned it checks the safety boxes for commercial jobs.
The jacket is low smoke and halogen free. So you can run it in air plenums, in public spaces, and you're not going to violate any building codes.
It really makes you rethink what a cable even is. I mean, at this point, it's not just a passive wire anymore.
It's not. It's active hardware. It's actively converting electrical signals from the USB-C port into pulses of light.
And then back again at the other end, it's a transceiver set that's just disguised as a cable.
That's the perfect way to put it. And it leads to a bigger thought for me.
Okay.
As we push towards 8K, and then whatever comes after 8K, the bandwidth needs are just going to keep climbing exponentially.
Right.
We might be watching the slow death of copper for any kind of serious in-wall video distribution.
That's a pretty wild thought, that in a few years, the walls of new buildings won't be filled with copper. They'll just be filled with glass fibers.
Could be.
Something to think about. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.